Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be getting some copepods ready this morning. This is a get ready with me ASMR mashup. So, let's get some Gravid girls ready. Some Gravid girls on the go. So come on, follow me. Here they are. What is a Gravid girl? Some more. These are our unexposed Gravid girls. So these ladies have never had the pleasure of meeting an infectious tapeworm. The other Gravid girls you are going to be taking care of are our naughty ones, our exposed Gravid girls. Okay, now that you've met our stars of the day, let's get going. I like to get my Gravid girls ready. I'm a girl on the go myself. I love to use this Eppendorf pipette. I like to set it to 1,000. But some people prefer a glass pipette. You just do what you can, you do what you want. What else you should have ready is a fresh glass of combo. Like to stay hydrated. Tastes good, smells better. I like to have kind of just a disposal beaker to just pour things into. And then I just love to have a butt ton of clean Petri dishes. So now that you've got your Gravid ladies kind of out and about, the next thing we're going to do is just look at them all. So I like to pull up my data sheet. Straight to my data sheet, I'm going to go up to 19. I see it here. Here's the column. Last checked was 25th. Today is the 26th. So here she is floating around. That's great. I'm just going to update that 26th, and we move on. So this part is actually really fast if nobody's done anything. So I have again our exposed ladies. And so today we've got 4 ladies here that I've seen in their test tubes that have clutches. Gravid here, number 43. But right now, let's enter these data and so we can all be on the same page. We go up here to 43. So this female has had 2 clutches. We're going to go ahead and enter a new row. All of the data from before, we're going to take it, I copy it, paste it. This gets deleted because her nauplii are going to be someplace else. This becomes 3. These dates are no longer relevant. I also enjoy not having the line there. These data are no longer relevant. These data are no longer relevant. So I update this to 27 because it's today. I update the day she's Gravid. It's today, right? We just found her clutch. Update that. And then for my own sanity, I'm just going to highlight this while I go off and counter clutches and stuff, just so that I know, hey, you've got to fill out these data. And so I'm also going to set a reminder to myself that she's going to be moved to that flat cap now. So she's no longer going to be in her test tube. She's moving away. Here I'm just doing a confident pour. I pour everything out because I'm isolating her and putting her into another tube, so that's fine. I take new clean Petri dish, and it's pretty easy to find these ladies. And I, no cap, but I can usually just get them on the first try. Then I just put her into the littlest dot that I can. And either I'll count them myself under the scope, or if she's moving too much, I'll just go ahead and take a picture. Counted her eggs. I know she has 18, 14. This is all good now. So we've counted now her eggs, and we're moving fast, right? Because, it's not awesome to be in a tiny dot of water. So I have this flat cap. Just pour some fresh combo into it. This flat cap at this moment is not labeled or anything. I put her in. And now she's in her new home. I don't know. It's a vibe. So now we can think about where does she go, right? So again, this is female 43. If I go to the nurseries, this female 43, she is infected. So the first nurseries you see are of the unexposed females. So we go all the way down to the infected category. And we see we're at 23, INF 23. Luckily, I have my tray, INF 23 right here, and the most recent cap is 79. Yes. The most recent cap is 79. Here you're gonna see actually in the data sheet, our next number here is 80. Why is that? Well, yesterday we had a lady that dropped her clutch and had no baby, so there was no point in keeping that flat cap. The next one in our sequence should be 81. So we're gonna go ahead and label this cap 81. I think one thing that gets confused a lot is that the cap number is all about how to find a test tube, right? I know that this cap 81 is an IMF 23. I know that. Gravid female, we just isolated, right? So that's 43G. All this we can copy over. I also know 43G. This is her third clutch. So this is 3. I just put my initials. Nothing is born yet, so we can just put that here. IMF 2381, this is where her babies are going to be. That's why it says nauplii, right? That's where her babies are going to be. And so now when we see nauplii here, when we go to our lady, this is where they're going to be. IMF 23, cap 81. Gravid female, right? She hasn't dropped her clutches yet. She's exposed. 43G clutch 3. And then today's date, which is the 27th of March. And I can see her, and I see she still has eggs. So I'm just gonna update today's date on the data sheet and just move on. If it's been a couple of days, sometimes I'll just sprinkle a little bit of food in there just so she has something to eat. And so we keep going. 40G. She's in IMF 23, infected tray 23, cap 80. Here she is. Looks like she doesn't have her eggs anymore. Now, it's important to look at how many eggs they have, especially later in life if they only had like 1 egg or something like that. Like really look at it. But here it looks like she really did drop her eggs. The female drops her clutch. Once she doesn't have the eggs anymore, she needs to be moved back to her home. So I've looked at kind of all of those infected trays. I recommend you start by just looking one by one. So, you know, does this female need to be returned because she's laid her eggs? This is female 40G, right? So then I'm gonna grab the flat cap 40G, wash that out, and then transfer her over. So these are all the females of the infected, exposed phenotype that I have to transfer over today. So right now, let's go and clean them off. So fill these up with DO water and then just rinse them out a couple of times. And then now, for example, I have this 40G. She's all cleaned out. I'm going to fill this up with a bunch of new fresh combo. Now go count these nauplii, but let's go make sure we know what we're talking about. So here on the data sheet, we know we're dealing with 40G. Let's just update everything. So today's date, for example, again, copy and paste everything. Don't rewrite things because if you're gonna reformat them in a way, this just like keeps things constant, right? So she had a small clutch, so we know we're not gonna be seeing a ton of nauplii if any of them are there. It's clutch 5, survival rate by then's pretty low, so you know if you don't see anything, you're not crazy. And so today's last check, I'm gonna also put today's date as combo food renew because she'll be moving back to that flat cap. And actually what I'm gonna do right now is go over to the nursery side of things because we're gonna go count those nauplii. And so remember, she's in tray 23, cap 80. Oh, and look, there she is. So I just like to, again, pull from another line and just update to today's date. And here we don't know how many there are going to be. Let's go count on the scope and find out. Okay, so we've entered her data into the data sheet of how many nauplii she had. Now it's time to move her home. So we have this female here. It's time to get her into here. Okay, so I got her. Again, look, confirm, visualize. And so then I'm gonna just kind of pipette her into a petri dish here. And I'm gonna try to, so all of the water that I have left in here goes back into that flat cap, into here, because there could be babies in that water, right? Like that's some good water. So I'm gonna try to get her in the smallest volume of water possible. Any excess I return to the flat cap. Here I can see her. I've got that tiny little dot of water. I'm gonna put her into that tube that I had ready with that fresh combo. This flat cap can be closed. Now full tube here. And we're just gonna give her a baby bit to eat specs. Like I'm seeing like 5 or 6 in there, okay? So now she's back home. The nauplii are counted. The other thing you're going to do now is change the label that was on the flat cap before. It said Gravid exposed, right? It's cap. They're nauplii, right? So we're gonna put nauplii exposed, right? Because their mom was exposed. 65D is currently the name of them. This is the clutch 2. This is mom's second clutch. And today's date. So they were born on the 23rd. Today's the 26th. So I update that to 26 March 25. This new one goes on this cap. I also remind myself, because I'm going to do all the caps first, I need to feed them once I'm done with everything. That goes into this little guy. This Gravid female sticker just goes to the garbage. No, these nauplii just got born today. We need to give them algae and we need to give them food. And that's how to do it. Okay, so I've just finished looking at all of the infecteds that were in these 15 mil tubes, and no one had a clutch today. One thing also that you are going to be wanting to do is just checking out how they smell. So again, these are ladies, they are classy, we want to give them everything they need. So on Tuesdays, you're going to do like a 50% water change-ish on these guys. And so what you can do kind of throughout the week is just kind of smell these, and if they smell like nothing, like plastic, then you're perfect. This one smelled a little bit weird, so here's what that water change looks like. So we're just gonna pull this out. You're gonna identify first, localize the female in the tube because you don't want to lose her. So there, I see her in the bottom kind of floating around. I'm gonna do a confident pour here, and here I see her actually in this tube. So all I have to do now is just give her some water, right? So now she has fresh water. And so this is what I like to just see the amount of food I have on my finger, like Cheeto dust. You just Cheeto dust a little, the babiest baby bit, like that's, see how little there is in there? And there's still Cheeto dust left in my hand. Like, that's how little you're putting in, okay? And that's how you do a feed and water change of a Gravid female. Also going to update that today she got her water changed and her food changed. This water, now that went into my excess, because I poured that out, this Petri dish is done. I can go wash it off and use another one, but that's why I brought a whole stack with me. Now we're ready for the next female. We want a new Petri dish with every female. We don't want anything touching anything it shouldn't.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So first, I'm going to see if I can see her in here. So sometimes when I do a pour like that, notice I didn't look for the copepod before. That was stupid. Because now you might wonder, where's the copepod? So this is a good game. This is the game called Where's the Copepod? So immediately here, I move her to the black here and see if I can see her shadow. If I can't, I don't freak out. She might still just be in the tube. So what I do is I just like kind of like drown her out. Let's see. Aha! Okay, see, I see her now. She's here. She's just like in this tiny little shadow. So yeah, always look for your copepod before you pour your copepod. Don't be me. So here she is. I see her shadow. I'm going to grab her ass, make sure I see her. Here I see one that might be dead. You can kind of tell that they're dead based on how they angle their body. Sometimes they don't move and they can play tricks on you. That happens. But here you can really see, and I'll try to get a better shot of this, she really looks dead. So what I do is that, you know, I keep on going through my females here. I just put her aside just to remember to pay attention to her later, and then we'll go deal with that. Okay, so let's check this dead copepod out. It's number 33. She's been with us for a while. Here she is in my little dot. Life is good. Well, not for her. She's dead. So I'm gonna look at her under the scope. Just make sure, you know, she's unexposed, so there's not much to do. If she were infected, if you have a dead infected, for example, could be cool to get some video and stuff of that. What we're gonna do here is go to 33. And so today is her death date. And, you know, I saw her yesterday, so she's been dead for less than 24 hours. So we're going to be able to save her body and hopefully do some cool genetic stuff down the line. So anyway, the day last checked is today, but her death date is also today. And so we're going to put that in, I like to put the lettering in red. And then we're just going to highlight this entire block that is all of her history. We're just going to set that to gray. And that's kind of her, that is her funeral. And so, yeah, if a female dies while I'm gone, just let me know and I can tell you what to do next. There's some like isolation stuff, but the odds that someone dies are relatively low. So fingers crossed on that one.